Let's just get this out into the open. Even after more than 50 years of riding motorcycles and hundreds of thousands of miles, I still seek perfection in the way that I ride. Do you? Or is that just me? It's like trying to get the perfect golf swing. I'm always seeking the perfectly smooth, perfectly timed gear shift. I can usually shift smoothly, even in situations where I feel the need to shift quickly under hard acceleration. I'm proud of my downshifting capabilities too, but ever so often, maybe you do too, I'll miss the shift. Like jumping between first and second gear quickly and finding yourself in neutral. Drives me crazy when I do that. So I've got to tell you, the new motorcycles with automatic transmissions, honestly, I just can't stand the thought of it. I saw one recently. I saw a new Goldwing with an automatic transmission. Didn't have the shift lever at all. Oh my goodness, what's happening to the world? You might say, Ron, why do you get hung up on things like this? You drive a car with an automatic transmission, and so what's the difference? Well, I don't think driving my car is the pursuit of perfection that I find myself doing with my motorcycle. On my motorcycle, when I'm really thinking about it, I'm seeking perfection. In cornering, hitting the apex just right, in braking, the balance between front and rear brake, and gear shifting, especially if another motorcycle is right behind me, just like on the golf course when someone's watching me tee off. I just want to look good. I want them to think that I know what I'm doing. So now you're saying, Ron, you need therapy. You're probably right, but maybe you do too. Hey, thank you for joining me today. Let's talk about it. Stay tuned. Recorded in beautiful Loveland, Colorado. Welcome to Peace, Love, Moto, the podcast for motorcyclists seeking that peaceful, easy feeling as we cruise through this life together. Are you ready? Let's go. Pardon me while I ramble for a moment. I've recently been re-listening to the audiobook version of Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I've been listening to it on my all-too-regular flights between Denver and Dallas. This book is deep and strange. It's one of those books where you have to really relax, or at least I do. I have to really relax to comprehend what I'm reading there or listening to. And it seems, though, with each listen, I learned something new. I read it originally several years ago, of course, because of the title. But this audio version from Audible that I downloaded again recently, it includes multiple actors' voices and sound effects, and it's really, really well done. Highly recommend it. But maybe we'll have to do a separate episode specific to that book, but quality, in air quotes that I'm doing now. In quality is the theme. And it's a road trip story about a father and a son and others. And it delves into the relationship between technology and the human condition. Essentially, our relationship with mechanical things. Yeah, I told you, it's pretty deep. Which brings me back to the automatic transmission thing. I know. Electric motorcycles are the growing trends, and perhaps that's our future. At least, thus far as I understand, they don't have gears. Maybe they have one, I'm not sure. But I don't think that they have gears at all. But setting that aside, well, let's set motorcycles aside for just a second. Again, I told you I'm going to be rambling here. And thanks for your patience as I try to make more sense. When you were a kid, did you learn to write in cursive? I did too. It was so hard, though. All those sweeping motions connecting letters that didn't look at all like the letters that I'd originally learned when I was smaller. But some of us embraced cursive. I remember admiring some of my classmates who learned to write in cursive so beautifully. Even now, looking back at letters written by Civil War soldiers, for example, soldiers with often very little education at all, but they could write in cursive somehow, so beautifully, and also in a language of the day that was so eloquent. At some point, many schools stopped teaching cursive, and I don't know why. Maybe around the time those pesky personal computers were invented. Who knows? Where am I going with all this? Well, I still enjoy writing in cursive in my little journal because I worked so hard as a kid to learn it. And although my first little mini bike at 11 years old had no transmission really, I just gave it the gas and it would go, the next mini motorcycles did. Either 1 down and 4 up or 1 down and 5 up. I worked so hard to learn not to stall the engine, and I was so proud of that. I say all this because I think, yes, there is value in seeking perfection, seeking quality, as the Zen book talks about, expecting that everything in our lives will go okay as long as we try hard enough. I've led tours in the national park where I came home thinking that I just blew it, that I was not entertaining enough or I didn't pay enough attention to some of my guests because I was tired or whatever. Then I'll read a review in TripAdvisor where someone said of my tour, "This was a trip of a lifetime, and we loved our guide." Wow, I had no idea, and I'm so glad I read that review. You see, there is value in understanding that we don't have to be perfect. Back to motorcycling again, with each ride, we have an opportunity to become a better rider, but during the process, let's just be satisfied with the fact that we found something that we love. Something that we can get better at, mile after mile, which keeps it entertaining, but we'll do it all with a smile on our face, even if we miss the gear between first and second. We have the physical and the mental ability to ride. And yeah, that's just great. I mean, how great is that to have those capabilities and a motorcycle in the garage that we love? Besides, it's the challenges, right, of riding motorcycles. As with life, there's going to be wind, there's going to be cold, there's going to be heat, there's going to be braking and changing of gears that are always a challenge sometimes. But all of that can really be fun. Let's remember that. As always, thank you so much for listening. I wish you peace. I wish you love.